Hey fellas, it's me, Nikkalotz. Hey fellas, it's me, Nick. Hey fellas, it's me, Nick. Hey fellas, Nick here. Hey fellas, Nick here. Hey fellas, 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 hey fellas,
Hey fellas, Nick here. On December 22nd, 2019, I uploaded the first episode of Nikkalotz. That was 4 years ago. And so I just wanna talk about Nikkalotz and 4 years of this garbage. First off, thank you for watching. I mean, 600 subscribers for some dinky ass little thing that I've just been doing for fun because I just have some PS4 games to talk about. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. I don't treat it as like a job or anything yet, but I really thank you. Like, this is actually really just interesting to kind of just go and do. I mean, it's at this point it is the end of the year and I know where everything is and it feels very just all scheduled out. I know what's going on, I know all of this stuff, but pretty much it is just something nice to say, hey, I did this. And I know there were like 2 or so years where I didn't really upload anything, but you know, I'm glad I took the break. I developed my kind of style, and you know, it was good. I'm glad I did it. I started the first season of Nikkalotz and not really just kind of doing much. I mean, there's still screenshots on my phone where I was ranking in like literally 10 views on like my latest episodes. I mean, like, there were just so many things where I was not getting views. Not that that's like the motivator for me, but you know, having that kind of crutch audience or so of like 50 or so views that the video always gets. I mean, just having 50 or so people that will always say, hey, I'm gonna watch this video that this dumbass white guy just made. That's cool, alright? That's a fun thing to say, that people are willing to just stay there and say, hey, I'm gonna watch the new thing he made. That's cool. But pretty much I just started making them because I was like, I have some free time, I'll just do this. Most of the videos that were done were really done kind of around the summer area, and I got them pumped out a lot faster because I didn't really care about quality. Most of the time I wasn't even scripting much or editing that much for that matter, so I was pretty much just going through them fast. I mean, I feel like I've done some videos pretty fast. I mean, the Every PS4 demo video, that was maybe edited over like the course of 3 days. I think subtitling it took longer than editing it because at that point everything was recorded. I have all the footage. When you have all the footage for something, it's much easier to gather it than say something like Serial Clones, where the only footage I had was the box. I only started Nikkalotz Season 2 kind of just on a whim. Me and my friends were hanging out at one of their houses, and jokingly I was just like, man, I'm bored, let's do something. And so we both just kind of jokingly went, hey, Nikkalotz Season 2. And that's how the first 4 minutes or so of Revenge of the Fiji was made. We all had to go home because it was getting pretty late that day, but we had already done something and we were like, let's evolve this, let's do more. And then that evolved into eventually all the stuff that happened. The change video was actually planned for a while. It was kind of a lost bet that I had. That script was in works for a while. I'm thinking like since September 2022, and then when Revenge of the Fiji happened, I decided to work the change video into the lore, which is why the change video has almost nothing to do with the lore. So there you go. It's literally just me passing the time by playing a dumbass furry game. And that was pretty much it for a while. I just kind of started doing it, and then when I realized, hey, I can make these 2 times a month, you know, bi-monthly, I was like, sure, I'll do it. And so I started tackling even more ideas. There were just so many more fun things I got to do, you know, filming with friends and everything, which is obviously a major part of the whole like doing YouTube stuff. I'll reiterate from what I just said a second ago, but pretty much me doing these videos has always just been me with my friends dicking around, just getting in front of a camera and saying things that we think are funny. And so that's really just been most of what I do for these things. A lot of it was improv. The whole thing for Revenge of the Fiji was improv, and there are a lot of there's a lot of lines where we just say them and they just turn out really funny. A lot of things happen on accident that are funny. For example, the whole Ouija subplot, that was just because Lucas forgot to bring Fiji bottles for when we were going to film the second time, because Lucas just didn't realize we were going to film a second time. And so we were like, you know what, we'll say that this is a bootleg world full of like bootleg products, and that's how All I Have Is Ouija was born. And that is, it's a pretty funny line, just because, I don't know, it's Ouija, you know, that's like it just comes out of nowhere. Like, it didn't really expect it to happen, but it did, and you know, it's funny. So that's pretty much all I can say right now. There is, of course, the one big video, which is coming at the end, you know, When Waters Collide. When this video comes out to the public, that's gonna be like a week away from it, so, you know, I was planning on saying, hey, I'll release it on the anniversary of the channel, but then I decided, no, I'll give myself some more time, so I really pushed it all the way till the end of the year, to the last Friday. And so When Waters Collide, as I'm recording this right now, it's making good progress. I'm editing things in very small chunks, and then I'm gonna stitch that whole thing together and add like maybe more like establishing shots, obviously do the music there. Subtitles are also done in chunks, because if I had to subtitle this whole big project, which it's gonna be big, that's what you need to know, it's gonna be a big project. Like, this thing is many pages, even longer than the changed one, although the changed video actually had a lot cut out of it. So there you go, add that to the wiki, losers. So bringing my thoughts back together about When Waters Collide, it's going pretty well. It's just, you know, a matter of getting it done. It's obviously easier to edit than most of the review things, because I'm going for like that whole over dramatic action movie shtick, so it's gonna be a big project. But all you really need to know is that it's very skit based. I mean, I like the skits. That's what I've been doing. You know, the court scene in the BO4 episode is still one of my favorite things I've done. The entirety of like Change, where I just went around, filmed my friends pretending like they didn't know what a bush was, or lemons. That was just funny, because it was just like impulsive stuff, and so I kind of wanted to do more of that. And now the big question: what's coming next? I don't know. I've been very grateful to have this year be basically full of like nothing for me to do. I mean, it was my sophomore year of high school, and you don't really do much, but obviously moving into junior year now, I have to focus more on where the hell is my life going, and I don't have time to do that. I'm already pushing a lot out of my life that I should be focusing on, so I'm really trying to just get this final push, get this all wrapped up in 2023, and just make sure that I have nothing to do, so that I can just focus all my attention on figuring out, hey, what am I gonna do after high school's over? Then once all that's done, maybe I can get back into the whole scheduled bi-monthly garbage. Who knows, maybe we'll have some random episode. Maybe I'll just make like a funny special for just like some random ass holiday. So, you know, get your eye glands ready for the Nikkalotz tax day video. Alright, it's gonna be sick. But yeah, in all seriousness, I actually have no idea. I don't think I'm gonna do Nikkalotz season 3 yet. I mean, it might just be like a really slow trickle of like the episodes. I have ideas and stuff that I want to do. I mean, if you've noticed that open source gaming video where I don't review Super Tux Party, that's for a reason. I don't know. I'm leaving that. Maybe I'll do a funny little Super Tux Party review. I also had a concept ever since around September, August or so, where I renew my episodes and I call it Season -1. I have no idea if I still want to do that now or not, but it's something that I'm debating on. Basically, I'll come back out here to the porch, I'll film everything the same way I did, I'll do the same episodes, pretty much just kind of rewriting the scripts to make them feel more, like, better. Up until I think, like, the Lego Batman episode, I did not write scripts. Like, Lego Batman, Chex Quest, and the Minecraft comparison video thing. Those were the only ones I wrote scripts for. The rest of them, I just didn't, I would just, like, completely improv them. And obviously the intro and outro parts were also just improv the entire way. So, you know, that left a lot of empty space where I just had to think of jokes on the go. And it didn't really work out that well. It was a clash of just styles that didn't really make too much sense, and I'm hoping that with Nikkalotz Season -1, I can try and work in something better, while also keeping the writing style that I was trying to capture at that time, which, by the way, it was Epic Rika. I love that guy. I mean, their stuff that they put out for Epic Rika, loved it, still do. I got to recapture a lot of it when I did the Kid Amnesia exhibition review, which is still just, it was so much fun to edit. Shame it didn't get that many views, but oh well. I just see that I'm editing stuff and people are watching it, and it's like, hey, people are at least watching. You ever been in a room of 80 people and they were all like, hey, I watched this thing you made? That's pretty sick, alright? I'm not even gonna hide it. That's just a cool thing to say. I feel like the internet has distorted our numbers. I mean, like, with a change video. You ever been in a room with 12,000 people? But anyways, I'll stop rambling about views now. Those are the two things I had planned. Nikkalotz Season 3, probably not happening. Nikkalotz Season -1, or -1, +1, 0, square root of 3i to the second power? I don't know. Whatever I'm going to name it, it's going to be a remake, a faithful remake of Season 1. I'm gonna obviously start with COD Ghost and then Project Lazarus and Rec Room, but after that, I don't know. Nick's Vault will also see a lot more stuff going on it. I plan to do bloopers for every single episode, or at least every episode where I can squeeze something out, which should be all of them. I'm not sure if I want to do When Waters Collide first for bloopers, or if I want to save those until the very end, but I don't know, we'll see. I really don't know at this point. I'm still trying to just finish up Season 2 with what I set out to do, which was get to episode 30 overall, so that's why it ends on 19, because, you know, once you add it up, 30. That's cool. But there is a third thing I wanted to try. If you ever saw what I posted on Twitter that one time, my friend Lucas, who plays Fiji God 1, and also the lawyer in the BO4 episode, he made a side series called Fiji Hell & Co., where it kind of just captures the antics of just the Fiji gods by themselves. First episode, you know, it did fine by my standards, but, you know, I felt like we could work to do something more my style, so I've worked together with Lucas, and we're gonna start writing some scripts for Fiji Hell & Co. So, you know, if I ever choose to do something, it might be a side series like that, or maybe I'll even do originals where I just make dumbass skits that aren't connected to the Nikkalotz universe. It's just me dicking around. I don't know. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching for 4 years. Next year will be 5 years of Nikkalotz. At that point, I don't even know what I'm going to do. At that point, I need to release like a frame-by-frame analysis of the COD Ghost episode, because there is nothing else that could do that justice other than like 5 years of Nikkalotz. Like, I gotta figure out something big for that. Like, that's gonna be, ooh, that's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. So, I don't know yet. I'll figure it out. But until next time, hey ya fellas, Nick here, and thank you for watching 4 years of Nikkalotz. Also, I was gonna film this at the table, but it's currently looks like that.